Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Angie Nelp Show. I'm Bruce Howard, joined by the women's basketball coach at the University of Tulsa, Angie Nelp, and we are into the American Athletic Conference season. And you go on the road a couple of times, you win one, you lose one, so that's not too bad. I know you were disappointed in the Houston game, but really terrific game against Memphis.
Yeah, our team came out in both those games and had to fight really hard, and both of them really pleased with the way that we were successful at Memphis, even pleased with some of the things that we did, against Houston. And we know we got a lot of work ahead of us, Bruce. We know we got a lot of work to do, and our girls are in the gym working hard.
Well, and let's close down the non-league schedule. You won 10 in a row, and then San Francisco came in and beat you. But overall, the body of work in the non-league, you had to be really happy.
I was really pleased with our growth. There were different opponents that kind of threw different looks at us where we had to grow, our team in different areas throughout each game. And I felt like we were able to do that in our non-conference schedule. Wishing we could have got that last one. It was a close one, here in the Reynolds Center, and could have gone, either way. But we learned from that and we grew from that. And so I was really pleased with coming out after Christmas, how we practiced and the way that we were able to continue to push as a team.
Yeah, and you kind of flip the page. Christmas gives you a little bit of a break, but not a lot. So you flip the page and you get ready now for league season. What's the mindset when you do that, when you kind of turn that page?
Well, it was a little bit of a different start this year, coming back from Christmas, thinking we were going to have that Oklahoma State game, ended up not having that game, then flipping really quick to start preparing and playing them for Cincinnati, and then we ended up, not having that game either. And so it was a different start than what you would typically have, but then we were able to flip and prepare for Memphis and start preparing our team to go on the road for 2 straight games.
Now, a year ago, you're handling COVID as an assistant coach at Arizona State. So how's it different as a head coach handling a different COVID situation? Because obviously you're not taking a 10-day pause. It's a 5-day CDC directive on that. So, how's it different?
Yeah, there's just been some different ways that you handle it differently. What I will say about the American Conference, what I will say about the University of Tulsa is, they're excellent at what they do and how they handle protocol, and everything that we do is absolutely by the book and sees, the health and the safety of our players first as its priority. And I love that here, and that's what we're about doing. And so for us to be able to come back and continue to practice, in the midst of some different postponements because of opponent situations, for us to get creative and the ways that we kept moving forward as a team, we had a lot of support for that.
Well, I'm sure it never got boring, but you do want to end up playing somebody else instead of yourself, right?
Yeah, we want to kind of get physical with some other people instead of each other in practice each day. And so, but our players did a great job of staying focused. They did a great job in preparing. We're excited to continue to move forward. It's a quick turnaround after Houston. I know we got, a game coming up rather quickly, and so there's been just moments of rapid growth where we've got, we've got to look at this, we got to look at our rebounding, and then we got to be able to be a little bit better in these areas and continue to grow in the positive areas too. We've had a lot of really positive things in our last couple games with our team, and so excited about continuing those things.
Well, you get ready for Memphis and what ends up being your league opener. They have a new coach. You're a new, to me it was a really fabulous game. It was fun to watch. Now, might have been a little stressful for you, obviously, because it was close, but what a terrific game.
Yeah, it was neck and neck. They go on a little run at the beginning of the third quarter, and then we bounce back, and then from that point forward, it was really neck and neck. And in those games, you feel, I don't want to say the pressure of the possessions. Our girls have done a really good job of handling some different pressure situations, but I guess you feel, the volume of that situation and the outcome of every single little possession along the way in the game. And so it was fun for us to be able to be in that situation. I was really proud of our players and the way that they handled some of those pressure situations. Memphis was they were a really physical team for us, which created a little bit of different adversity than, what we could create in our own practices. And I was so proud of our composure as a team and the way that we stayed connected in that game. I'm telling you, the way we stayed connected was so impressive. It was very impressive with our team.
Well, and you made some 3-pointers. You have to make shots, I guess, on
Absolutely.
The road to win sometimes.
Yep,
and you
absolutely.
hit some really, really important 3-pointers in key moments, didn't you?
We did, and what I love about that is, yes, we made the shot, and that's awesome, but we found each other in the right moments at the right time. Memphis came out and they zoned us, a lot of that game, and so the way that we were used to kind of creating for one another against some specific man teams, like we had to flip it and be able to create for one another in some of those zone situations and find the ball at the right time in the right person's hands, and they did that. So proud of them for that.
Well, and the right person was Maddie Biddle in the Memphis game with the score tied at 69-69. She's, I think, on the left side of the court, and then she runs baseline and gets all the way around to the right corner, gets open, and a play I think you've used a few times to get an open shot. She had the open shot. The important thing is she potted it. I mean, she made it, and it gives you the lead with 12 seconds to go. What a huge shot.
It was a huge shot for Maddie Biddle. And what I love about that shot, Bruce, is Maddie Biddle had done a lot of really good things that game, and she'd made, what'd she make, 3 or 4 threes, like right before that. And so what I love about that shot for Maddie is that Maddie had missed that exact same shot a few possessions earlier, but she took it. Right? She took it with confidence. And so I love that about that. I think even the time before she had turned down a shot, and had accidentally traveled in a situation and everybody on the team, her teammates, the coaches, everybody is like, just shoot the ball. And so she did, hats off to Yvette for finding her. Maya was the one on the wing who kind of spaced up and took a defender with her on the wing that created that open opportunity for Maddie Biddle. But Yvette found her with the pass, being able to find her and make a good pass on that.
And Maddie's been really evolving as a scorer this year. She's always been able to score some, but boy, last 3 games, and I don't have the numbers right now, in the Houston game, but for the 3 leading up to Houston, she was your leading scorer.
Yeah, she's being aggressive on the offensive end of the floor, and we love that, and we're going to hope that she keeps doing that, and she will keep doing that. And we've had some different teammates that are really complementing each other. Even though they may not be that quote unquote leading scorer for the game, we've had some different people in that mix. Yvette's in that mix quite a bit, and then you've seen our freshmen step up. Delaney's been in that mix, hitting some big threes for us in our Houston game, and you've seen T step up, and have kind of those leading scorer type nights for us.
Well, that gives you all of that balance, and obviously a difficult team to guard. Then you play Houston in Houston, and they're a physical team and a team that does like to kind of bully you around inside some, and they get out to that big lead. I mean, you've had good quarters and bad quarters, but not like the second quarter against Houston. I mean, 33-9. And I know you're going to have a quarter like that once in a while, but goodness gracious, that was a tough one, wasn't it?
I would say that's a good way to put it. That was a tough one. That was a tough quarter, trying to break up what they were doing offensively to us, and trying to find our rhythm offensively. We started that game great against Houston. We had a really good first quarter, against them, and then that second quarter, was a little bit more of a struggle for us in some areas, trying to break up, some of those runs that they were going on. And in all honesty, Bruce, like we were right there. We missed layups, we missed some looks that we wanted to get. So I didn't feel Houston does a great job with their pressure. They got big inside, and then they pressure you on the perimeter. They take away passes. I was really proud of the way our team started that game, saying, hey, we're going to be aggressive and we're going to take it at you. We're not scared. We're going to take it at you, and we did that, right? And in the first quarter, those layups fell. In the second quarter, some of those possessions where we weren't able to convert as much as we wanted to kind of led to bigger runs for them. But I'll tell you what, I'm just so proud of our team for. We go in the locker room, and we talk about that run. We didn't hang our heads. Right? We didn't go in the locker room and be like, oh, well, they went on a run. We fought back. We cut the lead to 9, at the end of that third quarter. And then we kept fighting in the fourth quarter. We're a team, Bruce, that's never going to give up. We're going to fight for 40 minutes. And I thought that showed through in our Houston game. Did we want to win that game? Absolutely. Absolutely, we want to win those games. But what I'm really proud of is our response when that adversity hit, in that second quarter, and how we were as a team.
Yeah, down by I think as many as 23, 25 maybe, and get it down to 9 or even lower than that, I think, at some point. And then down the backstretch, it had to be a little frustrating because you missed a couple of layups then too, and you had so many opportunities to get it to maybe 5 and really put some pressure on them. And unfortunately, you're running good stuff. You're getting good looks, right?
Yeah, our players continued to be aggressive. We cut it to 9, and then there was a time in that fourth quarter where we cut it to 11, and we were on a roll, and we just couldn't seem to kind of get over that hump, but we never quit. We never gave up. We never quit trying. I thought one of the key instigators for us in that third quarter was Rebecca Lasky. The way that we run our offense and our style of play with having multiple people be able to bring the ball up the floor. I'm telling you, you saw that determination a little bit when you go back to our Georgia State game. where Beck just put everyone on her back and was like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And she did that, and she did that in that third quarter, which spurred that run for us. And then we have Delaney running the floor and hitting threes, you know, and we have Yvette continuing to push tempo for us. And so I was really proud of our team and the way, you know, that we fought in that game. We didn't have our complete roster with us, you know, for that game, and I wish, you know, I wish that we had, or that we could have been able to do that, but we didn't, and it didn't slow us down.
Well, and ended up being a Houston victory over the Hurricane, but not for lack of effort by TU in that one. So 1-1 now in the league and 11-2 overall. And Coach, we'll talk about the week to come in a minute as we continue here on the Angie Nelp Show.
Touchdown, Desmond We are the American.
What is true blue? It's true loyalty, supporting others with unwavering commitment. It's true innovation, thinking creatively and strategically to make a difference. It's true strength, taking risks and standing up for what's right. True Blue is a 125-year legacy. Find the true you at the University of Tulsa.
We welcome you back to the Angie Nelp Show. And Coach, you get ready for actually a game midweek, but then no weekend game. So on Tuesday you take on East Carolina. They're a difficult team certainly, but then on the weekend that is one of your bye weekends, if you will, right?
Yeah, we've got kind of the end of this 3-game stretch coming up for us against ECU, and then we'll have a little bit of time with our team before we take on South Florida.
Yeah, and South Florida certainly will be a challenge, but right now you're just concerned about East Carolina, and that has been historically a really good series between the two teams. What are your concerns about ECU?
Yeah, I think ECU is a very good team. I think they're also well coached. We're going to see a lot of the same style of pressure that we just saw defensively, but they'll mix it up and they'll put pressure on us in different ways in a zone defense. And so we're going to see a little bit of what we faced in this last game, but obviously with this team, they have their own twists. They have their own strengths. You know, defensively for us, it's going to be a different game than what we just saw, and we've got to prepare in a different way. But I'm excited about our girls being able to step on that floor and compete.
Well, and this is a good league, Coach. I mean, you know, ECU is 7-7. Nobody below 500 in the league, and so they're a threat certainly, but it really is a balanced league. It's going to be a great season.
It is. It is. I mean, I think it's one of the premier conferences in the country. There's no nights off. You don't get to take any nights off in our league, and I love that. It's so competitive, and we've got so many great teams and great coaches, and I'm so excited that this play has started for our team.
Yeah, and you get ready for a game on Tuesday against ECU, and you've had good home crowds. You've had good, enthusiastic home crowds. You have to protect your house, so to speak, and I know that's important for you to come up with a nice home victory, right?
It is. We love the support that we're getting at home. That makes a big difference. You know, we were just on the road for 2 games, and right after that last game, our girls were like, we get to go back home, and so we love our arena. We shoot well in our arena. You know, we love playing in this place, and so it's nice after that 2-game road stretch to be able to come back home.
Coach, thank you. Good luck. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
And that wraps it up for the Angie Nelp Show. We'll talk to you next week as we continue to follow TU women's basketball.